I'm Joy. I'm part of the Games Partnerships team at Facebook. We work with creators and developers all across the region to really help you build sustainable businesses on our platforms, understand and integrate our tools. Instant Games is a part of that. It's not all we do, but this is what we're going to focus on today. A bit about where are we at with the platform, what has been happening over the last year, and what's next. So before we dive into Instant Games specifically and into what we have done there, I said it's a part of what we do in Games Partnerships and in games at Facebook overall. We have set ourselves internally the mission to build the world's community for gamers. I guess most of you know that Facebook's mission is to connect the world and build community, and what that really means is that we see that this ties in very well with games in general. Really fostering relationships, really bringing engagement through games to our users is exactly what we have set out to do. We currently already see more than 800 million people play Facebook-connected games every month. That is not only on Instant Games, that is also across using our mobile tools, that's across our Facebook Canvas product, our Game Room product, and across Instant Games. And these players are everywhere, and they play anywhere. And this is exactly also where we see Instant Games tie in as a cross-platform, super social experience for users to play together and to play with others instantly. So here's a quick overview of where we are at with Instant Games, kind of like what's the status quo of the platform. The platform is powered by HTML5. We do see web technology evolve very fast. We also see the network getting better. And what that means is that you can already bring very rich and engaging experiences to Instant Games today. It also means that users can instantly access these experiences across multiple platforms, and you can deploy them across all devices with just one build. We also have more than 1,000 games live on the platform now. As most of you probably know, Instant Games was in beta for a long time. We just opened it up. I'll talk about this in a bit, and there's a lot more to come. And lastly, just as a reminder, Instant Games is available across Messenger and Facebook for all users. What that means is that it gives you access to the world's largest platform with over 2 billion monthly active people across Facebook and Messenger every single month. And that really means that you can reach a global audience instantly with fun and engaging experiences through Instant Games. So here's a timeline. Where are we at with Instant Games? What has been happening? How did we end up with over 1,000 games and many more to come? Who here remembers around 2 years ago that the basketball emoji inside of Messenger was all of a sudden tabbable, and there was a basketball flicking game showing up? OK, a couple, not everyone. Would have expected a bit more to have played that. So what that showed us, and the funny thing about this was actually not a real games team project. This was actually an engagement play inside of Messenger. And we saw that we were onto something because we really saw incredible engagement and virality inside of this basketball emoji game. So a couple of months later, we did launch an Instant Games platform. That was 17 super simple, score-based, leaderboard-based games with no progression. I do see a lot of the developers that were part of these 17 game launches in the room today. And this is really where the platform was born. We then listened a lot to these developers, and we worked a lot with them to start understanding what we need to build in order to really have a fully fledged platform. At F8 last year, we announced what we call Bots and Flexible Platform. What that meant was really that our developers told us that they want to have more creativity and more space to build different experiences inside of Instant Games. Bots really are a re-engagement channel. They allow you to send, I would say, push notifications on steroids in a way more fun and creative way and really re-engage and communicate with your users. Flexible platform really means that you can bring whatever game with whatever type of mechanic to the platform. We also listened a lot, and what came out more and more is that we do need monetization inside of our Instant Games. So late last year, we opened up ads through our audience network with rewarded videos and interstitial units that are available for all developers to integrate into their Instant Games. Just at GDC earlier this year, a mission that we had set ourselves to really allow every developer in the world to build and create Instant Games and to publish and grow them came true, and we have an open platform where any developer, no matter where, no matter what size, can now build and publish for Instant Games. And lastly, just earlier this month, and probably the biggest announcement we've made this year, is that in-app purchases across web and Android are now open for all developers to integrate into their Instant Games. We've seen a lot of great games come to the platform over the last almost 2 years. Here are a couple of recent ones I would like to call out. We have seen a couple of mechanics work very well on instant games, from single player to async to real-time multiplayer. And these 3 games have all recently come to the platform and all leverage these mechanics in different ways. Disney's Tsum Tsum, for example, has just launched last month, is a single-player game on instant games that makes it super fun to compete with your friends on a leaderboard and very easy to send and request lives to keep playing. Etermax's Trivia Crack has just soft launched on the platform. It is an async game that really allows you to play trivia questions against your friends and compete on that. And lastly, but definitely not least, Angry Birds has made its debut on the platform globally just last month with a very engaging way to play Angry Birds against your friends, but also to make new connections by playing against strangers. One of the things that all these games have in common is the importance of social. The social mechanics of instant games and a platform that lives inside of Messenger and Newsfeed really is what makes these games go viral and what helps you build an organic audience that is millions strong. Namely, the things that are so important here are game updates, sharing, and playing with friends. These things should be your organic acquisition channels to get users into your game in the most retentive way. So first off, game updates are really a channel for you to invite, challenge, and play with friends, and are really the way for the game to become a part of the conversation that you have with a friend or with a group of friends. What happens here is that my friend Jason is challenging me to a match of 8-ball pool. And as he plays his turn, this message is automatically dropped into our thread. So this is not a message that he decided to share with me, but really the game becoming part of our conversation. I can then click on it, I find myself in the game, and I can automatically play my turn against Jason. Next up is sharing. Sharing and inviting is not necessarily new to the Facebook Games platform, and it is something that is very important inside of instant games as well. What happens here is that I am playing Everwing, and I'm hatching a legendary dragon. And Everwing, you can't really see this now, but there is a share and invite button under the send in Messenger, which basically is a native share and invite flow that the developers have introduced into the game that makes it very easy for me to share this in a Messenger conversation or on my profile for friends to join in and play with me. And lastly, a great example of playing with friends and really embracing that is Golden Boot from Nordeus. What happens here is that I enter Golden Boot and I want to play a match against a friend, and as I click on the button that tells me to play a match against a friend, this friend picker opens up. I have all of my friends that I'm eligible to play with, and I can very easily invite them. The second I click play, I find myself in a match with them, and we're playing Golden Boot real time against each other. The importance of leveraging all of these channels becomes especially visible when we look at retention and how retention behaves inside of instant games. We currently see that users who play with friends, so who play in an activated one-on-one thread where both people play together, or in groups, have 2 to 3 times better retention than users who just play solo. So don't only think about having new users discover the game through this, but really think about how can I get a user who enters the game in a solo context to actually become an inviter and a sender and to really help the game go viral. If we dig a layer further and we look at users who play not only with one friend or multiple friends, but who play across multiple conversations, we see that these users retain up to 5 times better than users who play solo. So once again, it's not only about playing with friends, but it's also about playing with multiple friends. A great example of this, and I've mentioned this before, is Golden Boot by Nordeus. If you haven't played the game, you should. It's very addictive, it's very fun. And they have really put the idea of having a viral and social game at the core of this experience. Currently, they see over 1 million players come into the game through invites and challenges every month. So really, the game grows virally by users inviting and challenging their friends. So this was a bit of an overview of where we are and what we've seen work on the platform. And there are a lot of things that we are focusing on to build to help you build better games for the platform. We're focusing a lot on growth, so how can we really help you further grow the audiences that you already have access to on instant games? How can we help you monetize and really build sustainable businesses? And lastly, we're building more and more tools to help you bring better and richer experiences to the platform. So what are we doing on growth? The first thing, Yes. There are a couple of features that we have introduced within our latest SDKs that are really made for you to bring users back and grow further organically. Home screen shortcuts are a great example of that. What you see in the background, or have seen in the background, is a video of how to add a home screen shortcut inside of Words with Friends. What happens here is that you can use our API to surface home screen shortcuts to your users and really help them install the game on your home screen. What that means is it's another very, very persistent re-entry point for your users to really help your users find back into the game very easily. FunPlus has used this, and they were one of our early testers for this. And they currently see 10% of their DAU re-entering the game through home screen shortcuts. So really think of it as an additional channel for you to leverage when you're thinking about bringing your players back into the game. Everything we talked about in terms of the scale of the platform and where the games are at the moment was organic and is organic, and we do see advertising and ads for the games as a complement to the organic reach that you can have on instant games. What you see here is ZenWords from Outplay and a click-to-play ad that we're testing with them. It really is, it's an ad inside of Newsfeed. As the user clicks on it, very similar to our mobile app install ads. The game pops up, and from there, the user can play and share and invite the way they usually would. It's currently in beta testing. We're looking to roll this out broader, and we're currently testing this with a couple of games. Cross-promotion is something that I think was one of the most asked for features by our developers on the platform. We have a lot of developers that have multiple games on the platform and that really want to leverage the audiences that they have already built in one game to kickstart other games. What you see here in the background is Lotum and a cross-promotion unit that they had built into their game for Picks One Word. As you tab on it and you choose another game to play, you automatically land inside of the other game. We do see that this helps a lot with discovery. Like I said, it's really about leveraging the success you had on one game to kickstart the success of another game. Lotum specifically currently sees 15% of new users finding the game through this cross-promotion unit for their game Connect the Dots. So really, especially when it comes to launching a new game or when it comes to actually driving discovery into an existing game, leveraging the portfolio of games you have inside of Instant Games makes a big difference here. I also want to take the time and talk a bit about discovery. Discovery in Messenger particularly is something that we're looking at a lot. What are we doing there, and how can we better enhance this? One of the main things we're doing is we're looking at enhancing our ranking algorithm, really making it smarter, making it more personalized, ensuring that you see the games that you are most likely to play and enjoy, and I see the games that I'm most likely to play and enjoy. This is exactly what we're working on here. We're also working on an Instant Games bot. So I said before that we're using bots as kind of push notifications in a very creative way. We are building an Instant Games bot that is platform controlled, that can recommend games, especially when it's about seasonality or when there are big events on, to our users. When we talk about Instant Games, we talk a lot about Messenger and discovery inside of Messenger and how games behave inside of Messenger. Instant Games is built to work across both Messenger and Newsfeed. And so we are investing a lot of time into how does discovery and how does behavior of Instant Games look like inside of the Facebook app as well. What you see here is a video of really the new home for games on Facebook. It is an Instant Games bookmark, where we're basically using the same things that we are using inside of Messenger as well to really help discovery on that channel too. So this is everything we're doing for growth and for really helping make it easier to discover games, helping make it easier to re-engage with those games and to find those games again. And obviously, it's also very important that we enable you to build sustainable businesses and make money from the platform. I mentioned before that we have added our App Ads API late last year. This is pretty much what you see here. I played Tetris. I really suck at Tetris, so I need to watch a rewarded video. This is the rewarded video unit I see, and as it finishes, I get my clearance inside of Tetris, and I get another chance to play. The ads are personalized. We are using our audience network technology and our audience network demand for this. And we do see that when rewarded videos are implemented well, there is actually a positive impact on retention. Here are my cleared lines on Tetris. And I can keep playing. Next up is in-app purchases. This is Everwing. In-app purchases are now available to all developers. So if you build an instant game or if you have an instant game live, you can check out the API and you can build in-app purchases into your game. This is available on Android and web at the moment, and you can check out the documentation for this on fb.gg/IAP. Everwing is a great example to look at. It was one of our first beta partners to test this with us. Lastly, as I mentioned, we're building a lot of tools to help you grow and build more meaningful experiences on instant games. Tying it back to our mission, not only our mission, but Facebook's mission overall, is building community. One example you see here is the Everwing Addicts group. We haven't done anything from platform side, and neither has a developer, to grow an organic community of 17,000 Everwing addicts that want to play together. So we're obviously onto something here, and we really want to connect people through playing games. We are building better support for pages and groups inside of Facebook. This also ties in with everything we're doing on discovery for Facebook. And also, we are developing APIs for page liking and group creation. Another great example of how you can really foster community around your games and really create these connections is our matchmaking API. What you see here is I'm playing Everwing. I don't want to play alone, so I do click the matchmaking button, and as I do, I get matched with strangers. And once I finish the game and I really like playing with these strangers, we find ourselves in a messenger conversation, and we can keep playing together. So really, it's about creating a basis for new communities, creating a basis for facilitating new connections, and connecting players with the same passion through this API. Lastly, not as fancy, but really, really important if you build instant games, is Facebook Analytics. We have spent a lot of time on building Facebook Analytics metrics that are specific to instant games. Really, it's about helping you understand what context do your players play in? How many sessions and what type of sessions do your players play in to help you better understand the social mechanics in your game and how to really leverage them? That is it for me. Thank you very, very much.
You mentioned that you're going to be able to have links in your Facebook feed to allow people to click on that and get played there.
Yeah.
Does that not just open up the whole ability to essentially advertise your Facebook instant game, because you now have a URL that will take someone direct to the instant message game?
Yeah, exactly. So there are basically two things we're doing. One is if you have an instant game, you do get a deep link URL, and you can basically use that URL to send people into the messenger game from Facebook or from off Facebook, wherever you want. The other thing we're building on top of that is a proper UA unit. So really where you can buy paid advertising to link users into your messenger game.
And when is that going to be available?
So the organic deep links are already available. As long as you have a page attached to your game, which you should have because you want to use a bot, you can use that. And paid advertising is currently in testing. We're looking to roll that out as soon as possible.
OK, and well, I've got the mic. Second question. I've asked some of your colleagues this, but I'm sure it's a question that a lot of people have, is if I have 3 games that we've published, is there any way that I know the player in one game is the same player in another one of my games?
Great question. So that's feedback we hear a lot from developers, that they want to, I would say, map which users play which games, and this is something we're looking at building.
Okay.
You mentioned discovery improvements. You didn't mention monetization improvements, specifically eCPMs on the audience network. And obviously, that's something that you guys are working on. Do you have any more specifics on timeline for the discovery improvements, and then when audience network will bring real money?
So I think generally discovery improvements are going on all the time. It's one of our very big priorities to make sure that we have as many discovery opportunities, and that is as easy as possible for games that, like I said, are personalized to specific players, so that you see the right games and I see the right games. It's ongoing. We have done a lot on that since the beginning of the year. We keep ramping up our algorithm, and with that, we're also working on making monetization. We do have an editorial unit. We do have our, I think it's currently called latest releases section, which is an editorial unit. We are also building the bot, which is, in the end, going to be more of an editorial take on it.
Hello.
Hi.
I would like to know if the solution is available in France, like all the monetization, all the...
It's all available, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
OK.
Ads and IP should be available in France.
OK, thank you.
So, I have a quick question. What types of games do you see as most, I guess, most popular, at least into the future? And do games, or should games be, I guess, created new and in a way that would work specifically for Messenger, as opposed to an old game such as, or a popular game that's on another platform? Yes. Should games be customized, and what kind of features should they be customized with?
So I do think that games should be customized, and that's generally what we see work best. Like, I think one of the examples is Angry Birds. It's also a Tsum Tsum. It's a Words with Friends that have all been, I would say, rethought and readapted and reshaped with the idea of working inside of a messenger and conversational context. We do see games come to the platform that are on other platforms as well that have very little adaptation, and that's usually a struggle, mainly also because of all the, I would say, organic and viral capabilities that instant games have that make it so unique and that help to grow, that should really be there when you think about it. So really custom updates, bots, make sure you use all of these things when you build an instant game to really grow your audience.
Hi, just wondering, is there any plans to enter real money wagering into the instant game genre?
Great question. I don't think that we're looking at that at the moment. I'm very happy to chat about it and understand what you think we should be or could be doing there. But yeah, no active plans on that.
I have one question. Is it maybe also possible to send people from the instant games also to a game in your Play Store or something?
Yeah, great question. That's not possible at the moment. So generally, instant games at the moment is its own platform, where also you can't currently match the users over. It's something we're thinking about. We really want to make sure that the experience on the platform itself is as good as it can be, which is also why we made cross-promotion within instant games available. But yeah, it's something that we're looking at.
All right, well, Joy, thank you very, very much. That was a great presentation.